UR3 was pretty much me coming to the place where, how do I get people to come to check themselves? A lot of times we're carried away by the hustle and the bustle and the need to not be left out and the need to be a provider and the need to meet up to expectations, and sometimes, a lot of times, we do not stop to check. I always like to say that everybody is running from something, either something, someone, or somewhere. But what we do not do a lot of times is define where we are running to, who we are running to, and so that we know why we are running. When we know why we are running, we can determine how fast we run, and also determine whether we need to slow down sometimes to just take a breather. It will help you define how long you will even stay in the place of rest to gather energy and relaunch again. So how do we define ourselves also, not by standards around us, but by standards that is a purpose that we are willing to live for, and if death comes, we're willing to die for. A lot of times, I've seen people do things because that is the status quo. Do things because that is what is reigning. Oh, it's pure water today, let's do it. It's bread tomorrow, let's do it. But at the end of the day, I keep saying that one of the worst things that could ever happen to any individual is that you get to the end of your life's course and find out that your ladder was actually on somebody else's wall. Career wall, relationship wall, marital wall, business wall, job wall. And at that time, a lot of times you have expended yourself and you're so thin. Where we are in Nigeria as a country needs intentional people. There is nothing that America has. There's nothing that Dubai has that we cannot have. But we have to come to the place of intention to know why are we running, to set a succession plan for continuous leadership and followership. There's a lot on leadership, but very few. Everybody cannot be a leader. A leader is useless without followers. So while we are teaching leadership, who are those that will follow and know that I am sticking to this vision, and even if I do not see it come to pass, I can transfer and teach the person coming behind me that this is what I have done, this is where you take over from. That is what UR3 is really much about. Intentional people who come together with a purpose to build themselves for their society. Because the society is useless if it doesn't have people that can build it. Organizations are useless in a society that does not function. So how do we ensure that organizations, as leaders, wherever we are, that we are building our people, not just for the confines of the organization for competition purposes, but we're building our people for the leadership that our nation needs. So that we know that somebody used to be our marketing officer, he's presently running for House of Senate. We are sure that he would deliver because he has leadership, he has resilience, he has capacity to deliver. That is what UR3 is all about. That we come to the place of intention, that we apply ourselves with purpose, that we run with a vision, and that we win. Like Dr. Osaz was saying, that failure is pretty much not, it's not an end in itself. We need to not see failure as an end. What I came to realize was a lot of times we define ourselves by failure instead of evaluate ourselves in failure. So failure should be an opportunity for us to evaluate ourselves. As Dr. Osaz says, feedback. Not to define ourselves. So what happens? I've seen people, in the course of this program, people called me suicidal. I even saw pictures of someone that committed suicide because they saw nothing else. How do we get to the point where we realize that options are always available? And if one door is shut, we can open another door. And if it's shut, you can open another door. And you just keep going and you keep going. And like I say, my mantra is, you never give up until you win. And after you have won, because you remembered how you won, you will win again and you will stay winning. And I hope that at the end of this conference, everybody will go away with clarity of purpose, clarity as to why you are running and where you are running to. I trust that it will be impactful for you. All the speakers are ready. Everyone is ready. And I trust that you're ready. Thank you so much. This is, UR3 like I said, the thought came, it was December 3rd was the first time I called the first speaker to say, I would like you to. And as soon as he confirmed, I started calling other speakers from December 3rd to now. And I keep saying impossibility is nothing. Because when the thought of UR3 came, it was someone said, you can't do it in 6 weeks. Nobody does a program. You need like 8 to 10 weeks. UR3 is 6 weeks from conception. And I am grateful for everyone that paid, for everyone that came. Thank you. Not much further ado. I'd like to call, can I just introduce Mr. Wale